All right.
Got Isaiah 47.
You can 47-1. You can start yours now. All right. Make sure you stay in front. Good. Step this back a little bit. Good. All right, we in.
All right, Shalom, Shalom here, the Israelites, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Florida. We come in week in, week out to prophesy the downfall of America and to bring our people back to the natural nationality, which is Latinos, Negroes, Native American people that consist of 12 tribes of Israel. All right. Without further ado, I'd like to give all glory and honor unto YAHAWAH, by Hashem, YAHAWASHI, by Hashem and QADASH. Double honor to the elder that teaches this truth. Salutations to the brother preaches truth on the four winds of the earth. Also, you sisters, listen before you meet, speak with your faces. Children, Shalom.
Shalom, shalom. On today's topic, the deception of the West, the Ben Gurion Canal, Elon Musk brain chip. All right, because we're talking about prophecy. So going to the deception of the West, the Ben Gurion Canal, Elon Musk brain chip. You give me Jeremiah 28:8.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 28, verse 8.
All right, this is Psalms 52, verse 1 through 9. To the chief musician, Michelle, a son of David, when Doeg the Edomite came and told Saul and said unto him, David is come to the house of Ahimelech. Why boastest thyself in the mischief, O mighty man? The goodness of God endureth continually. Thy tongue deviseth mischiefs like a sharp razor working deceitfully. And that goes back to last week when I said there's actually, how you doing? There's actually a news article saying that 40% of Americans, they don't even trust the mainstream media because their tongues are full of deceit and lies. And I'm going to get into that on how Josh, I think it's Josh Paul, he pretty much resigned from, he was the individual who actually did the nuclear, not the nuclear, the military weapon trades with the other countries. And he's talking about how Israel is getting a lot of aid from America. And he's saying that it's genocidal and that you're just killing innocent people to the point that he said he's resigning because his conscience can't bear it, because deep down inside, they know what's actually going on behind the scenes. They know what's going on. Modern day people in America, they have no clue what's going on. So you have military, high-ranking military personnel resigning from the United States and also from the UK. That's how you know they're doing something behind the scenes that's not right. Okay? Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of all prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
Right now we're talking about World War III, because you also had a news article where this individual was talking about using an atomic bomb on Gaza, and then Benjamin Netanyahu, he actually suspended him. But then you have Russian personnel saying pretty much you're always going at Iran about enriching uranium to make nuclear weapons, but then as soon as the small hats over there, all right, the 1948ers say let's drop a bomb on Gaza, nobody says anything. They turn a blind eye, right? So that's the hypocrisy. That's the deception of the West. Like John Mayer say, when they control the narrative, they can bend it all they want because it's your narrative. All right, you control the airwaves. You're the princes of the air. Psalms 52 and 3. Thou lovest evil more than good. You can give me Proverbs 4. I think it's 4 and 13. Hold it for me. Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness. Salah. Thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue. God shall likewise destroy thee forever. And that goes back to Esau, Edom after the 1,000-year period, right? Like they say, and even in modern time, they say every great kingdom has an end. America is a kingdom, despite the fact how immoral it is and how it's being decrepit and it's decaying. It's still a kingdom, but every kingdom always have its decline. All right, it always has its dissension. And America is rapidly circling down the drain. That's a medical term to someone who's terminally ill, knowing that there's no chance of them recovering. So America is pretty much circling down the drain. So America is a terminally ill patient. It's just a chronic illness. There's no healing it, right? It's decrepit, and that's the state it's in right now. Go ahead, go ahead.
Job chapter 14:5, seeing his days are determined,
Right.
the number of his months are with thee.
Right.
For thou appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
Because like they'll say, oh, in 2035 we're going to be in Jupiter. Oh, in 2030. But what the scripture says that he said they named the names after their own selves. America, they named America after Amerigo Vespucci. Africa, they named Africa after Leo Scipio Africanus. And it says that the inward parts that the generation shall go on forever. No, it's not. They're going to have an end as well. Every great kingdom has had an end. And China said the worst thing Americans did was tax their own people. That's what you call greed, because the love of money is the root of all evil. There's nothing wrong with money. It's the love of it that people will do anything for. And now look at the state that people are in right now. Because the rich eat up the poor. Yeah.
Proverbs 4, verse 14. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men.
Keep going.
Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away.
Keep going, Bible Show.
For they sleep not, except they have done mischief.
Oh, that goes back to Micah 2. It said they sleep not unless they have done mischief, man. So in other words, it's embedded in them to want to always be deceitful, to always be that devil, to always be a Satan, man, an enemy. I mean, that's how they control the world.
I got
Micah 2. That's the spirit. I was just going to get that.
Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
Which is what's going on right now. The world can clearly see what's going on over there in the Gulf of Suez, over there in Israel, over there in Gaza. I mean, those people, they don't have no major military like that. They don't have no nuclear capabilities. So why you come to dropping bombs on it all of a sudden? Like I said, it goes back to money. It goes back to the beef with Egypt and America in the Western European countries. It's all about trade. Every war is a banker's war. It's all about money. But you think that they're over there, oh, they're really harming the Jews, or they're stop it, man. Stop it. Go ahead.
Micah 2:2. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
Right.
When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand.
Right. So there's no such thing as a coincidence as an accident in the universal coincidence. It's supposed to happen. Like they try to use Nostradamus. No, it's not. It's not like that. It's never been like that. Going back to the whole CD19, how this whole outbreak happened about. I mean, it's nothing but a variation of SARS, swine flu, H1N1. But because they constantly tear down your immune system via the chemtrails and the foods you eat and the water with the fluoride and all of that, so it's easy for you to catch that type of disease and die because you don't even have a well-balanced meal in the society we live in. It costs more money to buy healthier foods, but it's cheaper for you to buy the food that'll destroy you quicker.
Like at Proverbs 4:16, for they sleep not unless they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall.
So their sleep taken away unless they cause something to fall. So it's like a crab in a barrel mentality. I see you climbing up, I'm gonna pull you down to get on top of you. And America did the same thing with Germany, who was an ally of America. When they had the explosion with the Nord Stream pipeline from Germany to Russia, they did that so they could stop spending all the extra money by getting energy from America. America didn't like that. Then guess what? The explosion. So they'll shoot themselves in the foot. Go ahead. Yeah, please.
Proverbs chapter 4, verse 17.
That's the focal point.
For they eat the bread of wickedness.
No, you're good. We were pointing out something.
For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence.
And that goes back to Isaiah 30. Can you give me Isaiah 30 and 20? Isaiah 30. Right. You know how they say you are what you eat, stuff like that in general. But when you think about somebody, it's like somebody say, man, I live and eat basketball. Like, I knew Jace that when they got done playing basketball, the same ball they had outside, they fall asleep with the ball in their hand. So like they live and eat that. So like all they do is live and eat wickedness and violence. They know nowhere to run. That's why the scripture says, who could bring a clean thing out of an unclean thing? Right? So you can't turn somebody that's wicked into something that's righteous, because it was great to be the wicked. That's the balance of the Lord. That's why everybody can't get it. That's why everybody can't be saved. That's a falsehood. That's dogma, right? Go ahead. Read it one more time, for sure.
Proverbs chapter 4, verse 17.
Oh, I'm sorry, brother. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Proverbs chapter 4, verse 17. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. But the path of the just is as the shining light.
Hey, what? Salaki, go ahead. No, go ahead.
That shineth more and more unto the perfect day.
That shining light that shineth more and more unto the perfect day. 2 Corinthians 4 and 6. What's that light? The knowledge. As these days progress, as these days get worse and worse, this truth just shines bright and brighter as the sun does, man. This truth is just spreading all over, to the point over there in Israel, those small J's are saying that what they say, their deadliest threat right now in their land is the black Jews that's living in this moment. Why is that? Because prophecies coming to pass. I saw a TikTok where there was this young Edomite girl, Caucasian girl, as you want to call her, and she literally laid it out like, you're only saying that black people over there are an issue, it's because you know that you're not the real people. She clearly said that. Elder Malcolm had the video. That's why they're doing it. So Revelation 12 and 12 is also coming to pass. You get it from Isaiah. You get Revelation 12 and 12.
This is Isaiah 30 and 20. And though the Lord gives you the bread of adversity,
right,
and the water of affliction,
right,
yet you shall not, teachers, be removed into a corner anymore, but thy eyes shall see thy teachers.
So in other words, we're not going to be inside some church passing the collection plate around, right? Commit adultery. Now, we're not going to do that. The Lord said you're going to see the teachers. The Lord said, because even it tells you in Jeremiah, he said, those prophets, he said, I sent not those prophets. There's certain men out there that he did not send. And that bread of adversity, that all that ties back to Esau drinking, what it say, drinking the wine of wickedness, eating the bread of violence. All that goes back to us having to drink that cup, because they issue that towards us. Shalom, shalom, akwake. YAHAWASHI, Bashim, QADASH, right? They issue that all towards us. So when it says that we had to eat that, that's what Esau served us. Remember when the Lord said that you eat up my people. He's not saying they're being cannibals. They're just saying that you drain everything from them. Like in the Willie Lynch letter, it said we found how to take the light from the slave. The light was the knowledge. If you don't know who you are, where the hell are you going? Because you have no starting point. That's why
take the light out of.
Yeah, he said take the light out the slave. So now we're gonna call you Negro. The first nigger. Then we're gonna call you Negro. Then we're gonna call you black. We're gonna call you Afro-American. We're gonna call you African-American. We're gonna call you black. We're gonna call you Negro. We're gonna give you all these bywords and proverbs that you become now all of a sudden. No, you're not Hebrew. You're Puerto Rican. But why do I call you Puerto Rican? Oh, that's a marker of when we came here, your children was playing with like gold nuggets and diamonds. So we robbed you, then called you Puerto Rican. Yeah, you're the rich poor, but we robbed you. Get what I'm saying? That's how they took the light from us, man. But now that light is shining more and more bright, because like the Lord said, in the land where it was not said that you were not my people, it shall be said that you are the children of the living power. All right? Anyhow, yeah, that was it on that.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time.
So they're not even playing subliminal anymore. Everything is just so open. Everything is just so vivid, to the point they have to create terms like medical misinformation or hate speech, right? Or they have to create guidelines, because they have to try to mitigate all of this damage of the truth coming out, right? You're going to tell a lie for so long till the truth prevails. So you have to come. The First Amendment, you know, like the right to speak. The right to speak. Even the Lord says a man can tame a lion or a great beast, but the tongue is an unruly member. No man can tame the tongue. That's why when somebody was snitch in the mafia, what they did, they cut off their tongue. Over in the Middle East, they cut off your hand. So it'll be a reminder to the people to not do that. But nowadays, lying is just so common. We live in such an artificial society. Now the truth becomes stranger than fiction. So now they look at you like you crazy. Well, what that movie was, I think it was The Day After Tomorrow, when all of those officials from the government got away in the plane. And one official said those guys on the corner with those signs were right. They put it in the movie, but all you care about is the big tornadoes and the earthquakes and the action, but you're not listening to the dialogue. They know what's to come, but they trying to get away of the danger before you do. They want to see us out here like dog eat dog world. Every man for himself. Women are equal to men now, so they good luck. You get what I'm saying? But nonetheless, though, we don't have to worry about that because the path of the righteous is a light that shines more and more into a perfect day. Okay, so let's get back to it. You got something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
When you mentioned about the truth, is to overcome lies.
Right.
And it says, 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 27 and 28, for evil shall be put out.
Beautiful.
And deceit shall be quenched.
Right, that's what's happening now. Because it's like a wildfire. When you think about before the internet came about, it was like a wildfire how they would spread the news, like what happened with Pearl Harbor. You know, I mean, they had 3 days prior to knowing that the kamikaze attack was going to happen. But back then, the people were wiser. They knew if we go to war, you're going to put us further and further into debt as a country. They said we don't want to go to war. They allowed the attack to happen. So then when they saw their sons, their nephews, their fathers, their uncles, and their brothers drowning in Pearl Harbor, they said, okay, now let's go to war. So it's like they know these things, but they allow it to happen. That's what you call it, the secret, man. So they're more than willing to sacrifice 2,000, 3,000 of your sons, but they won't do it for their own. Because think about it, how many president's sons or relatives that went out to war? You don't really hear about it that often, right? But they'll send yours out. Go ahead, up.
2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 28. As for faith, it shall flourish.
Woo!
Corruption shall be overcome.
Can you give me Hebrews 11 and 1, Bible shop?
And the truth, which had been so long without fruit, shall be declared.
And the truth which have been so long without fruit shall be declared. And that goes back to Abba Bivens, to our elders will be the elders of Great Millstone, and their elders, King Masha, Ariah, and so forth and so forth. Because this right here is going to explain it. Hebrews 11, 1 and 2, Bible shop.
This is Hebrews 11 and 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen.
Right.
Verse 2. For by it is the elders obtain a good report.
Right. So the elders were the ones that planted those seeds that brought forth much fruit. All right, from the tree, from the tree, how should I say, the tree of truth? Like you have a tree of falsehood. Here, go and eat that, consume that. Like when you're watching something, when you're listening to something, when you're reading something, that's food for thought. You're consuming that. That's an intangible consumption, but it alters you some way in your mind, physiological. I think I said that correctly, right? So even what you read, what you watch, what you listen to, that's consumption itself, right? Rather than what you put inside your mouth. That's why the scripture clearly says it's not what goes in a man, but what goes out of him. Because you can't tell somebody to do something, but you don't do it. That's hypocritical. That's what the Lord means by that. But that's something else. That was into that, right? And can you read that one more time, Bible Shah?
Both.
Yeah, Bible Shah.
Hebrews 11 and 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Verse 2. For by it is the elders obtain a good report.
Right, so by it the elders obtain a good report. Now going back to Psalms 52, verse 6. The righteous also shall see and fear and shall laugh at him. Like the Lord said, because you went under my counsel, I'll laugh at your calamity. So when I hear people saying, oh, he was a good boy, oh, he was not, the Lord said the wages of sin is death. Why did he die? What happened? What kind of life was he living prior to him perishing in such a terrible way? You get what I'm saying? Lo, this is the man that made not God his strength, going back to Esau, right? But trusted in the abundance of his riches and strengthened himself in his wickedness. You can give me Zechariah 11 and 4. Zechariah 11 and 4. Because it clearly said this is a man that don't trust in God. His strength is in his riches. Well, how did America get rich? Go ahead.
This is Zechariah 11 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Thus saith the Lord my God, feed the flock of the slaughter.
That's us. Transatlantic slave. Slayed us.
and hold themselves not guilty.
They don't hold themselves guilty. They say get over it. They say forget about slavery. But they don't tell you to forget about the Holocaust. They don't tell you to forget about Babylon. They don't tell you to forget about they don't tell you to forget about Babylon. They don't tell you to forget about the Holocaust, right? They don't tell you to forget about the 4th of July. When in 1776, there's a picture of us being chained around the tree. So why the hell they barbecue? Why the hell they got sparklers for? Huh? That's what I'm saying. Go ahead, bro.
And they that sell them say, please be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
Yeah, I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. How do they get rich? Once again, like we said, the transatlantic slave trade. So that goes right back to how they said they don't trust in God. They don't trust in the Lord. They trust in their riches. But now, think about it. Money that's gotten by deceit, money that's gotten by blood, they even showed you that with Judas Iscariot. When Judas Iscariot got the money, the 30 shekels of silver to go and bring in the Lord, what happened after? He wanted to bring that money to the centurion. Even though those centurions and those Roman officials during that time were so wicked, they still have more of a morality about themselves than Judas Iscariot. And they said, we don't want that money, that's blood money. What are we gonna do with that? So they even made them feel even more guilty about taking the money, right? So that you know, that's pretty much the whole point. Is like, for money, man, people will do anything, but like to get it by deceit, your end will be what? Death. Like the scripture says, defile, shed not blood in the land therein, because the blood that is shed defiles the land. And the Lord said, the land cannot be cleansed except by the blood of him that shed it. So that's when Revelation 13 comes into play, vocab alone, talking about slavery. iPhone I-242, right? If somebody, if a mass murderer going to kill a spree, right? They don't go and say we're gonna give you a five day vacation in Nova Scotia or something. No, you want to kill him because he killed all your family members. So how are we wrong for saying that slavery is only right for us going into it? Right? You benefited from it. Where's the justice? They don't hold themselves accountable. Just like they're not holding themselves accountable over there. They never do. They're pointing the finger at everybody else. Oh, they're over there using chemical weapons on there, like with Saddam Hussein, the mob got hostile. Oh, they're using chemical warfare in their own people. Went over there, murdered those people on live television. They was dragging Saddam Hussein, and also the mob got hostile. Got their bodies out in the street, dragging those men. They didn't find no chemical weapons of mass destruction. They found no weapons of mass destruction 2 decades later. 20 years in Afghanistan. Millions of dollars wasted, going down the drain. They just jetted and skated while people over here were suffering, couldn't barely pay their own bills. And y'all still say God bless America and wave a flag. That's how you know these people are sheeple, man. You need somebody to lead you. You can't think for yourself. Where's your rationality? Right? Go ahead.
Zechariah chapter 11 verse 5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
Spirit though. Spirit.
And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
And when it says Lord, it's all capital letters, right? Yes. So that means they know the name. So that means they know the name. If they're gonna say Lord in all capital, they say blessed be Yahawah. Exactly. That's the same power. Think about it. When during the time when Yahawashai was walking into the graveyard, and there was a man that they could not bound with no chains. Then they were like, whence comest thou, son of man? Hast thou come to torment me before the day? So even that evil spirit inside that man that was possessed knew the son of man is going to come one day and even torment the wicked spirits. How much more the wicked people? Right? You got to think about that. That's a heavy scripture. Even that wicked spirit knew that he's going to come back to destroy. How much more the people who are wicked in the flesh, right? And then what he did, he pretty much exorcised the spirit out of that man, and then he cast the spirit into the herd of swine. They ran into the water and they drowned themselves. And they go to show you, shouldn't be eating pork there. It's so wicked. Here, just put that evil spirit in the pork, and then let the pork run out there, and people be out there barbecuing and eating it on Sunday when they're watching the football games. Crazy, man. You got something? Okay, let me finish this up. You got something? Let me finish this up real quick. Psalms 52. Verse 8, but I am like a green olive tree in the house of God. I trust in the mercy of God forever and ever. Remember what it said. every plant that has not been planted by my father shall be plucked up, right? Kind of like the wedding on the marriage when he said, who let this guest in without a garment, right? And there was, remember I was talking about how we pretty much have the helmet of salvation, breastplate of righteousness and all that, right? Same thing, us being planted. Also going back to us being trees of righteousness spoken of in the book of Isaiah, right? That goes back to the engrafting. All right, grafting in when it talks about the wild olive tree. Wild meaning like it's not been domesticated. It's grown out there in the wild. That would be us to be grafted back into the house or to the family. You will take and you make like a scythe of the tree at the root, and then you will attach that root to the other branch, and then it will merge with that, and then it will grow. That's how you engraft plants when you're dealing with agriculture. So the whole grafting goes back to Israelite foreigners to come back to their power. It had nothing to do with actual Gentiles. All right, it was just Israelite foreigners who took on the customs of the Roman Greco-Romans during that time, because they were known as Hellenists. And when you go into the Bible dictionary, you look up the word Hellen, it literally says Greek-speaking Jews. So if they spoke Greek, they had to have taken up Greek customs. Like we speak English and we take up American customs. So saying we're Americanized is no different than saying we're Hellenized. That's why the Bible says there's nothing new underneath the sun. We're still under captivity under the same people who's under captivity during the time the Lord was walking the earth, and the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, whose name was YAHAWASHI, a dark-skinned man with woolly hair, spoken of in Revelation the 13th chapter. Can't get over that. Like this brother got woolly hair. I mean, I think he's northern though, but oh man, make sure you're in the frame of your own country. You know what I'm saying? Let's finish this up. Psalm 52:9. I will praise thee forever because thou hast done it. I will wait on thy name. So you have to know the name. So we're waiting on the name. How can IUIC say we don't know the name? Right? That makes sense. Even King David said, he said, I will wait on thy name, for it is good before thy saints. So now let's go back. We're going to go into this article. You can get Isaiah 47:1. You can get Revelation 17:15. Yeah. Hold it. It says State Department official resigns. It says Israel is using U.S. arms to massacre civilians in Gaza. All right. So the State Department official resigned. That says a lot, man. That says a lot right there. It says Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu suspended far-right heritage. I'm sorry, that's not the one. It's not the one. This is what I'm looking for. This comes as the independent news outlet in these times report the White House has requested an unprecedented loophole in arms spending to allow it to, quote, be able to conduct arms deals with Israel in complete secrecy without oversight from Congress or the public, unquote. Even as experts say, Israel has been using U.S. supplied weapons to commit war crimes, unquote. So this is a U.S. Department official resigning because he's saying Israel's buying weapons from the United States to massacre. So he's like having this epiphany phase, like you're literally just bombing a hospital full of women and children. Imagine if Russia or China did that to America or did it to one of their allies, right? Because Palestine is not an ally to them in their eyes. That's why the whole world is in uproar. They know exactly what's going on over there. And that's going to get back into the Ben Gurion Canal. It's all about money. Remember, every war is a banker's war. For more, we're joined by Josh Paul, the State Department official who resigned last month in protest of Biden's push to increase arms sales to Israel amidst its siege on Gaza, calling it, quote, short-sighted, destructive, and contradictory, unquote. Can you give me Jordan hit the buff for a moment? Job 20, off the shot. Read it one more time. Calling it short-sighted, destructive, and contradictory. I think it's like verse 5. Yeah, verse 4.
Job chapter 20, verse 5. That the triumph of the wicked. Job chapter 20, verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment.
Like I said, every great kingdom, America is a short-lived kingdom. I mean, you can't even count from 1492. You got to start from the industrial period. So America's like what, 2 centuries old, and that's already on its decline. Like when you think about Alexander the Greek, he ruled for what, 325 BC, all the way up to about, they probably ruled about 185 AD. So maybe 400 years, and they were, well, damn, well, technically you can't really even say that. That they were still doing a lot of slaughtering from 325 BC all the way up until like 168 BC, because that's when Antiochus Epiphanes the fourth did the great slaughter to our people. Right? Hey, like the elders say, you gotta know the history or know the mystery. But nonetheless, though, I'm gonna continue to read. I'm gonna let this brother finish this up real quick. Let me read one more time. For more, we're joined by Josh Paul, the State Department official who resigned last month in protest of Biden's push to increase arms sales to Israel amidst its siege on Gaza, calling it short-sighted, destructive, and contradictory. Go ahead, Al.
Job chapter 20, verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old, that since the man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment.
Right, the joy of the hypocrite, they contradict the but for a moment. And that goes back to Isaiah 47:1.
It's Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
And you know, when you sit in the dust, it's like confusion. You know, when you was a little kid, you saw the little sand devils. You're going to run into it. Or if you're walking in the alley and a big gust of wind come up and it kind of like blurs your vision a little bit. That's what it means by when it says come sit in the dust. Because now it's just confusion in America. Right? The virgin daughter of Babylon. Come sit in the dust. There's no longer a throne. Go ahead up.
Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans.
Of the Chaldeans, right.
For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
Yeah, you shall no longer be called tender and delicate, man. Right? You shall no longer be, it's kind of like, think about it. All the other countries have been, since America's been established, no other country has invaded America. But you notice though, the British, they invaded China, right? You also have the other Middle Eastern countries, the African countries, the South American, Central American countries, Mexico. They all have been invaded, but they all have been conquered or subjugated on some point. But America has never been penetrated. That's why I refer to it as the virgin daughter of Babylon, because once it gets bombarded, blitzkrieg by thermonuclear warheads, you're going to be fucked. Just to say it plain and simple. That's why I know it's the virgin daughter of Babylon. You see how the parable works? Because America hasn't been touched yet. That's a virgin. Once a woman's, did her thing, dancing the sheets, she's no longer a virgin. And that's what's gonna happen to America when it's blown off the face of the earth. Right? You shall no longer be called tender and delicate. All right? Keep going on.
So Isaiah 47:2. Take the millstone and grind meal. Uncover the locks. Make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers.
Make bare the leg, cover the thigh. It said make you naked. When you naked, you bare. It's like imagine, just imagine some man that came in adultery, and then like the husband comes home and the man runs out holding his hands like this between his legs, running to his car or whatever. That's embarrassing. That's what it means by make bare the leg. It's embarrassing right now what's going on with America all across the world. Once again, though, if you like Fox, CNN, whatever, you're gonna watch that. You're gonna listen to that. It's no different than in sports. A lot of people like Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, Skip Bayless, whatever. But those people, they can't speak their minds the way they want to on their own podcast. So they're gonna tell you a certain aspect of the game they want you to see. I listen to Gilbert Arenas. I'm like, whatever y'all talking about don't mean nothing. He's giving me the straight skinny. No different than going to alternative news outlets. You get the straight skinny. That's why they got a website, something like fact check. So you have to say whether or not this is true or not. Now, what are you talking about? It's people on the ground right now that have videos showing it, sending it to me. When I went and got my my oil change, there was this guy from what he say he was from? Not Morocco. He said from Tunisia. So this guy he owned a shop. He's from Tunisia, right? Tunisia is like northern part of Africa, like Tunisia, Morocco, all of that up there, right? But you would have thought he was from Middle East, like from Jordan or something. and he was telling me about what's going on over there. And he literally showed me a video. He told me what's going on over there. He said Egypt. He said they better not mess with Egypt, because if they mess with Egypt, they're gonna have a lot of people that's gonna be mad at America. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna get into it in a minute. Man, this dude showed me a video. He said this is a video of a hospital, of the hospital that got hit. All you saw was dead bodies. You saw kids and everything. But that's something that they're not gonna show on the news. People like holding their babies, they're lifeless, crying and everything. He showed me the raw footage. And you could just see the innocence in him, and I was upset too. And like we just embraced each other like we was brothers, and I was like, man, appreciate your service and love. But look, that guy, he's just a regular guy. He has his own business. But we didn't mention nothing about what happened in Gaza until I was getting ready to leave. I said, down with the West. As soon as I said that, it struck his spirit. So you can tell that's something that's been festering on his spirit. And there was somebody like-minded spoke about the same thing. You know, he spoke on it. But that's how this world is. If you speak on it, you get canceled. Right? It's a cancel culture thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no other people on the face of the earth that does not say, if you don't say who I am, then we'll cancel you or we'll arrest you. That's crazy. What happened to the First Amendment? So now what you're doing, you're pretty much taking away the First Amendment by saying I can't say that this is who you are, this is who you are not, and I can back it up with evidence. It don't matter.
Amos chapter 5 verse 10. They hate him that rebuketh at the gate.
Facts.
And they abhor him that speaketh uprightly.
They want to hear the lie, man. They want to hear the lie. They don't want to hear the truth. Tell me sweet lies.
Because lies keeps them in power.
Lies keep them in power. Prime example. Makeup. It's funny. I see all these girls on the social media, and they'll be like, so I went on this date last night, and the whole time she's putting on makeup, not realizing that 5 minutes later, you look like a completely different person. So you're living a lie to keep that power of youth, because women know youth, beauty, fertility, femininity, being submissive and being cooperative. Men like that. So as they get older, they put the makeup on because they're losing their power. They know what their power is, right? So the same thing with the brother was saying right here. They're losing their power, man. So they have to lie to you. So they put on makeup to make them who they are. It's artificial. It's fake. You know, like getting breast augmentations, getting butt lifts. It's all fake. Was it on that? Oh yeah. One more. You can read verse 3 one more time, please. How y'all doing?
Yeah.
All right.
This is Isaiah 47:3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, thy shame shall be seen. I will take the vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man.
That goes back to Acts the 1st chapter. Remember when he was with the disciples and he left? And the two men in the white raiment came up and said, why look ye up into the heavens? The same way the Son of Man left, he shall come back. So he's not going to come back as the same man that was on the cross. He's coming back as an angelic force. Right? I always say, I shall not meet thee as a man. But let's get back to this article though. All right? So this right here is what Josh Paul was saying. And he was with the Treasury Department. Not Treasury Department, he was with the State Department that was selling arms to Israel. This is what he was saying. The White House has requested an unprecedented loophole in arms spending to allow it to, quote, be able to conduct arms deals with Israel in complete secrecy without oversight from Congress or the public. So that was the whole reason of why he resigned. Right there. So I just want to read that again so you can get an understanding. Let's go back to the deception of the West. So now let's really get into why why Israel is really bombing Gaza. We're going to get right into it. The Ben Gurion Canal. All right. You think about the Suez Canal. The Suez Canal accounts for 12% of the world GDP, 5 to 10% of world crude oil. Okay. Now think about this. 2022, Egypt made about $8 billion in transit fees from the Suez Canal. Now I see why the Tunisian guy said the West better not mess with Egypt. I'm thinking like, why would they mess with Egypt? Because of the Suez Canal. That makes so much sense.
Gotcha. Habakkuk 2:5. Yeah, also because he's transgressed by wine, he is a proud man. Neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desires as hell, and is as deaf and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
a man that needs to keep it at home. America got 700 military bases all across the world. He was to him all nations. Okay, if you want to sell your own oil, you got to use the petrodollar. You get what I'm saying? And this also goes back to the canal. They never keep it at home. There's so many issues going on in America. They're sending billions of dollars over there to Israel, right? But they want to give you $600 every 3 months, and y'all happy, y'all going out to vote. Y'all fools, man. It's crazy. It's like when you really think about dumbing down the minds of the people, just give them all they desire. Give the people all they desire. They'll forget the intellect. They'll forget to be imperative. Nah, man. No one they can eat, drink, laugh, party, watch games, and entertain. It's like the world does not care. You're gonna go down by yourself, and that's the same thing with his elites right now. That's why the rich eat up the poor. They just taking all the money from you, all the money from all the jobs. They want everything automated. Remember, it was like not even 5 years ago. You go on Walmart, there'll be like 10 cashiers. You go to Walmart now, it's like 1 or 2. So now there's 8 people that lost their job. Self-checkout. So there's like 8 people that lost the job right there. Right?
Like you said, I forgot it said there shall be no more work in Egypt.
There shall be no more work in Egypt. Right? The door shall be shut. That's what's happening. Somebody told me like when they call the line for like customer service, it's always somebody from like India or somebody from the Philippines that speak English that's helping you or aiding you with your customer service. They're out to you. Listen, that's how you deal with statistics. Oh, we created 3,000 new jobs. Yeah, you did, but you extradited those jobs to different countries. So, see, that's how they do it. That's statistics. Yeah, you did create 3,000 jobs from a company based in America, but all your calls, they get extradited. They get outsourced. So yeah, you created it, but people here are not getting that money. They're not getting those jobs. Right? That's how you deal with statistics, man. That's why you gotta have the context of the matter. Right? So that goes back to what we're talking about. Anyways, going back to the Suez Canal. In 2022, Egypt made about $8 billion in transit fees from the Suez Canal. That didn't sit well with the United States, France, and the UK. I'm gonna tell you why. The canal is very narrow, so for 6 hours a day, traffic flows one way. Then the traffic reverses to flow for another 6 hours. The first time in the money. All right. So think about this: 20% of the world GDP goes through here, and 5 to 10% of the world's crude oil goes through here. Now listen to this: in 2022 and 2021, a ship jammed the Suez Canal. It cost $10 billion a day. I mean, think about it. Transit fees, Egypt made $8 billion. Transit fees, you know what that's like? That's like taking a certain Florida highway or whatever, and then you got to pay the sun pass. That's a transit fee. Transit when you're moving, right? So when every time you go through here with your vessel, which would be your ship, you have to pay a fee. They make $8 billion off of fees alone. But whenever think about this, whenever that vessel was stuck in the canal, it was stuck sideways. They lost $10 billion a day. That's a lot of money, right? That's a lot of money. So think about this. That also hindered the United States vessel movement for the military. So United States was like, that day that vessel got stuck in the Suez Canal, America was like, we can't have this. That's why they want to try to make an alternate to the Suez Canal right here. It says, so the alternate for the United States is known as the Ben Gurion Canal. Plans to be made to cut through Israel as an alternative route to the Suez Canal. It will be wider and deeper. So this will be in opposition to Egypt and to the Saudi Arabian, not Saudi Arabian, to the Saudi Emirates and to the Muslim communities over there. Those countries over there, Egypt, like Ethiopia, Eritrea, Jordan, Israel, Yemen, which they've been bombing for years, but that's another story, right? So they want to create that alternate route because in order for trade to get to the western part of Europe, they have to go to the Suez Canal, right? As it says right here, the only way trade from Asia can get to Western Europe is if it cuts through the Suez Canal. Otherwise, they will have to go around the southern part of Africa. The Ben Gurion Canal project shall run through Gaza. Now you do the math. So let that sink in, man. So they want to make an alternate route of the Suez Canal by creating something called the Ben Gurion Canal. But in order for them to make that canal, it has to go through Israel and it has to go through Gaza. So now you see why they're over there taking those people out, man. It's all about money. It's all about money. It's no different than the Panama deception. We spoke about that in the car, right? They tried to use Noriega as the scapegoat on why they should send the military down there to take him out. But Noriega was already selling cocaine to the United States. The United States, the biggest drug dealers in the world, so let's stop it. But because Noriega wasn't going along with their plan anymore, because he found out that the United States military wanted to kill all of their citizens down there, mainly down in Panama, so that they can create the canal that connects the the Indian Ocean, if I'm not mistaken, the Indian Ocean to the Gulf of Mexico. They went over there and slaughtered innocent men, women, and children. And it's a documentary. When I watched it, I cried. They just show you how wicked America was. That's why it's called the Panama Deception. They try to use it as Noriega is over there. Same thing with the Marvel Copy. Same thing with Saddam Hussein. Same thing with Osama bin Laden. The same thing with Assad over there in Syria. Same thing with Pakistan. Same thing with Afghanistan. Same thing with Iran. Same thing with all these countries. America always point fingers saying they doing this, they doing that. Come to find out they ain't did shit. You want their resources, man. You just wanted boots on the ground. That's all you wanted. So they killed all the people in Panama to create that canal. It's the same thing they're doing over there in Gaza, man. That's why we call it the deceit. You got something?
Yeah, the very next verse. Habakkuk 2, verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, is the point, woe to him that increaseth which is not his.
Woe to him that increases which is not his. Yeah, it's right here. They just take, man. That's all they do. Take that. Yeah, like they like P. Diddy, man. Take that. You sign this, but I'm still gonna take that. Right? Because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put out this false narrative that you're over there. And you know what really happened though? When Russia and China, another conglomerate, another big powerhouse, another big economy, finally put their foot on the world stage and like, yo man, we here, we ain't going nowhere. That's when America started put all this Russia gate, Russia propaganda, Russia spies, Russia's rigging their elections and yada yada yada. And they did that because they had to make them look like the bad guy. I had to make you look like the bad guy. It's kind of like getting caught cheating. Well, you wasn't doing this, you wasn't doing that. That's not the reason you wanted to do that anyhow. I wasn't the reason. That's what you wanted to do anyhow. Same thing with America. You want to go over there and destroy the people anyhow. Why? Because it benefited you. The scripture says you are the man. It said you are never satisfied. Never satisfied. You 1492, you come over and you subjugated the entire Western Hemisphere of the world. We're talking about 2 continents, people. North America, South America, and you got Central America, of course, and then you got the Caribbean. You've conquered the entire Western Hemisphere, and you still over there fucking with the people. You fit the man of the scriptures, man. You're that guy.
You know, it's beautiful. Job chapter 20, verse 20 says he's going to restore everything. And it
Right.
reads, Job chapter 20, verse 20, that which he labored for shall he restore.
That which you labored for, you shall restore. And what they're going to restore us, the kingdom, the nation of Israel. But see, this is what happens when you lay in bed with the devil, man. Y'all laid your bed with America, you're going to go down with America.
And shall not swallow it down.
Mm-hmm.
According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice.
Go to that word restitution, Bible Shah. Go to that word restitution, Bible Shah. You can give me Psalms, Bible Shah, Psalms 58 and 1. Hold that on that. What it says restitution. Yep. Can you look up that word in the Hebrew? Right. I want to see what the definition is for restitution. Restitution, that which is exchange, substitute, recompense. Recompense. Psalms 26. Psalms 26, Bible Kashaf. You already got Psalms. Yeah, Psalm 26.
5. Psalms 2 and 5. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure.
Read all the way to 8.
Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree. The Lord hath said unto me, Thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee.
It sounds like it. Sounds like YAHAWASHI or Israel. Remember when the Lord said in Exodus 4:22, he told Pharaoh, he said, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. You know, but they can be, YAHAWASHI as well. Of course, it is Yahweh. Let me say that right. It is YAHAWASHI, but they can also mean Israel as well. Go ahead, put some respect on his name, man.
Verse 8. Ask me, and I will give thee the heathen for thy inheritance.
So that's going to be our recompense. That's going to be our restitution. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance. We're going to take all of that back, right? But going back into what's going on in Gaza, that's why we say, all things must be fulfilled. It says, not one jot or one tittle in no wise shall pass until all things be fulfilled. First Peter 2 and 19. First Peter 2 and 2 Peter. So like 2 Peter 2 and 19. She's not. You use your app up. You gotta use it. 2 Peter 2 and 19. Go ahead. Yep. 51 from top.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 58, verse 1. Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yeah, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth.
You weigh the violence of the land and the earth. So you see massive death, massive starvation, and even these pestilence. I mean, you got something known as the Center for Disease Control. They have patents on viruses, right? I'm just looking down. They have patents on viruses. So they weigh the balance of the earth is in their hands. They go back to Micah 2 that you had brought out earlier, where it says, woe to him that divides the mission, because it's in the power of his hands. It's in the power of the stroke of the pen, the legislation, their judicial system, okay, and the military.
Psalms 58, verse 3. The wicked is estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies.
So from the womb, they go about speaking lies from day one. For one, the Lord said that Esau has no heritage, so they claim to be everybody else except for who they are. When they came here, hey, they called the Native Americans the red man, right? What? Oh.
Even the word Indian is
Yeah, the word Indian means
Redskins.
the word Indian means savage.
They finally got offended and changed the name to the Washington football team.
Yeah, Washington Redskins, they changed the Washington football
Every
team.
Thanksgiving, they always play the Dallas Cowboys versus the
Dallas Cowboys versus the Indians. That's a mockery. It's a mockery on how the United States Confederate Army took down the Native Americans. That's why they have on Thanksgiving the Washington Redskins and they have the Dallas Cowboys. It's just a reenactment on how they took down Native Americans. That's why they want to take Washington the Redskins out of the name football team name. Just like how Mount Rushmore was like, it was very sacred and holy to them. So wicked, the devils when they put 4 presidents' faces up there, carved their faces into their spiritually sacred land on the mountain. And even the Bible says, remove not the landmark. That's what these devils did. So that's how you know who the son of perdition is. They do everything the Lord say not to do. Now think about it. They literally do everything the Lord said not to do. Yet they still inaugurate themselves on the Bible. Because it's the left-hand side. People don't believe that God produced evil and wickedness. The Lord is a balance. Right? So people don't understand that, man. God is a critical thing, man. The Lord is critical. Go ahead, I'll keep going on.
Psalm chapter 58, verse 4.
Well, he drowned Pharaoh. Well, he killed every firstborn. Like, that ain't love. Hey, he can't be all love. I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? He flooded everybody and saying 8 people. I don't know what book they read, man. They tripping.
He didn't bother crying, begging.
Nothing. He didn't care. Oh, it even said that the Lord sealed the door. Right? Go ahead. I know we gotta go.
Psalms 58, verse 4. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear.
Right. Go ahead.
Which will not hearken to the voice of the charmers, charming never so wisely.
Because they're snakes. So they're snakes and they're the snake charmer. So they know how to charm you. Because what the devil does, he gives you all your heart's desire. But you have to sacrifice something. That's why M. Shabauer says, give me control of a nation's money. I care not who create the laws. That's why America is what it is today. The mystery of Babylon, the land of confusion, man. Massive confusion here.
Psalms 58, verse 6. Break their teeth, O Yahawah.
The teeth is strength. Like, remember it says the enemy is like a lion seeking who he may devour. What's a lion's strength? His teeth. So the Lord said, break their teeth. Go ahead.
The Lord said, he will turn you into a threshing
into a threshing mystery, having teeth. Exactly. Power. Like when it speaks about the horn goes back to the strength. That's the strength of a rhinoceros. Right? Go ahead.
Break their teeth, their strength, O Yahawah, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth, strength of the young lions.
Let's read it like it is.
Break their teeth, O Yahawah, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Yahawah. Let them melt away as water which run continually.
It said melt away. Can you give me Isaiah? Because it literally says, it literally said men burnt up, and it says few men left. So when you say burnt up, and I hear all this nuclear talk, I'm like, all right, the Bible is true then. You know what I mean? You give me on verse 20, 21. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Lord, 24. Isaiah 24. Just, I thought you knew how to. Do you read the Bible? I ain't trying to be funny though. Come on, man. Oh.
Isaiah 20.
Yeah. Never mind. Go ahead. I'll get it. Let's go ahead.
Psalms 58, verse 6. Break their teeth, O Yahawah, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Yahawah. Let them melt away as water which run continually.
Now when it said melt away, I'm thinking about, you can get Zechariah 14. When it says your flesh shall consume away while you stand upon your feet, your tongue in your mouth, your eyes in your head. That's Sarah Connor on Terminator 2 when the thermonuclear warhead took off at the playground. That's literally in the Bible, man. So that's a vision that Zechariah saw in the future. And they do have nuclear capability that will do that. Go online and look at victims of Nagasaki and Hiroshima. They were burned. People actually got eviscerated if you were at ground zero, but those people were burned. It's the same thing that's going to happen here in America. All right? That's how 14. And whole 12, Bible shot. There you go, Bible shot. You can read it right now, Bible shot.
This is Zechariah 14 and 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. Their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouths.
So when it says melt them, read that again, the Bible shot that verse.
It reads, Psalms 58 and 7. Let them melt away as water which runneth continually.
It's going to be the thermonuclear warheads, man. Let them melt away. Hey, the Lord said the earth before was preserved for water, this time for fire. Where the fire going to come from? It's going to come from those nuclear warheads, straight up.
Elements shall melt.
The elements shall melt with fervent heat. So look at a periodic table. All the elements shall melt away. Your body consumes your body consists of iron. Your body consists of calcium. Your body consists of iodine. Your body consists of the elements, so your body gonna melt away too. Your car, your jewels, your gold, your silver, titanium, phosphorus, all that's gonna melt away.
The lake.
It's gonna be a lake of fire. That's America. The is that lake of fire. You're gonna melt away. People gonna be doing brushstrokes in the lake of fire. That's what I like to say. The wicked gonna do brushstrokes in the lake of fire.
We will see it too.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see it. Hey, when the scripture says, "Blessed be the man that shall see the fall of his enemy." Straight up.
Right in the Bible, while we change, we will see that.
Yeah,
we will see the destruction of our
in the twinkling of an eye, right? But we shall be changed. Because in Revelation, it talks about the sea and glass, the sea of glass. You know, and then we saw the destruction. And that goes back to what's that?
the glass in the chariot. The glass
Yeah, brother. Yeah. Hey, he got like 1,000-some pictures. He sent me one picture. You sent me a picture before when all the brothers, man, they was standing there with the glass and destruction. Man, it's dope. But yeah, you sent it to me. I'm trying to get video with it. But yeah, man. So the sea of glass is us standing like up in the chariot, looking through like this translucent barrier and just seeing the destruction. You know what I'm saying? Like that's beautiful. Think about it.
I seen that when it was looking down.
It's crazy.
Like a glass floor.
You gotta think about this. Noah saved them in the ship. YAHAWASHI saved us in the spaceship. We came here on slave ships, we're leaving here in spaceship. We're leaving in stock. That's why the scripture says, all eyes shall see him. How?
Ship first ship.
How? They say, all eyes shall see him, so that means he's coming from the heaven. So stop calling UFOs. They're going to cherish the Lord, man. Every time you see a tornado, earthquake, oh, that's a UFO. No, it's not. That's an angel. What are you talking about? Put some respect on the Lord's power. But they have to dump down the Lord's power to still make themselves feel superior. They got to make the people think that what's inside those vessels are little green men with big black eyes. No. You better read Ezekiel, the first chapter. They were fearsome looking creatures. For what? What it said? There were four sides. One with the side with the face of a man, face of a lion, the face of a bear, and something else, if I'm not mistaken. They weren't beautiful. It was a hideous looking creature that petrified him. Yep. Yeah. Petrifying, man. And the angels are not these little 6-month toddlers with baby wings and little bow and arrows. Because Esau, they were Pizzagate. They like little kids and all that. No. The angels are ferocious. The angels are actually coming in the form of men. Job, when the people wanted to take down Job and his family, those two men were angels. They blinded all the people so they couldn't get inside the house during that time.
In the book of Daniel, it says that he's going to speak great things against the Lord.
Yeah.
That's disrespectful, making that aliens look weak and evil.
Aliens look weak. They are aliens though. And they're from a different realm. The alien is something that's the angels alien just means like a foreigner. Like technically we're aliens here because our land is different.
Far away from home.
Yeah, so we're aliens here. So an illegal alien will be the European because this land has been inhabited for over 2 millennia. You can't discover a land that's been inhabited for 2 millennia. It's a lie, right? The Incas, the Mayans, the Aztecs. That's why I say the American education system is falsehood. It's a farce. They don't teach you anything. They indoctrinate you. You don't learn nothing in these schools. They want you to learn this history, and that's it. And then guess what? If you come with the truth, they're going to say you failed that class. That's how this society works, man. You need a high school diploma in order for you to sweep or to mop at McDonald's. So they mean they got to indoctrinate you first before you go out into the society.
That goes into that covering cast.
Back to that covering cast, man. The covering cast, you know? Oh, yeah. That was on that. Oh, I want to bring this out really quick. Isaiah chapter 24, verse 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, especially with man and woman, right? Broken the everlasting covenant, therefore have the curse devoured the earth. You brought that out, Zechariah 14. All right? The curse. Now you're fine, we're recording ourselves. The curse will be the angel. It'll be some of the warheads, because remember what it said. That flying roll, it said that was a curse. That flying roll would be an angel. So, people hear about blessing and cursing. Well, the blessing is the opposite of a curse. So, the blessed means for men to bow down, but it's in your favor. A curse is something that's not in your favor. right? So if the angels will be a curse to the wicked, then there will be what? A blessing to the righteous. That's how the Lord balance. You know what I mean? You know, I mean, everybody can be a winner. That's why you got runner-up. Nobody care who was runner-up, who won. That's why they care about who won the game, you know. Who took that L, we don't care, you know. But anyways, we're going to get back to it real quick. Isaiah chapter 24, verse 6. Therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Talk about evaporated, eviscerated, annihilated, taken off the face of the earth, cease to exist, extinct. I mean, I can use so many more synonyms, but you got the picture, right? I ain't Picasso, but I try to paint one. Therefore, the inhabitants of the earth are burned. Read that again. Therefore, the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. Few men left. You want to get second Ezra, brother? I think it's the 8th chapter. You got something in particular? You know we're gonna get yes, sir. The Elder Apostle Gabriel brought that one out. Yeah, go ahead, brother. Yeah, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Let me get 2nd Ezra 8:1. And he answered me, saying, the Most High have made this world for many.
The Lord has made this world for many. I'm always use the same analogy. It's 8 billion people on earth right now. Imagine the same back then with Noah. He only saved 8. So a lot of people, man, they're just born in vain because they're gonna perish. That's a scary thought, though. Now think about that. He say 8, but then it goes on to say in Exodus, he shall show mercy unto thousands, not tens of thousands, not hundreds of thousands, not millions, not billions. He's gonna show mercy unto thousands. That's why why is pride made for men? Like we all on all time. I got you. Well, I see everything from here. That's why I stand like this. I got you. So if somebody who walk by you, if it's a lady, like if it's a bigger dude, I'll be like, yo, man, it's different. I got you. I got you. You know. So yeah, that's the difference though. The Lord have no respect to persons in judgment. The Lord don't care about your mother, your auntie, your uncle. Shalom, Laquam. How about Shem Shai, about Shem Kakadash? All the Lord cares, the scripture clearly says the Lord loveth judgment. But why does he love judgment? Because the Lord said he rather that you obey than you sacrifice. So if you don't obey, he has to bring forth judgment. But that's in hopes of correcting you to get on the right path. So that's why the Lord loves judgment. And it's also a sign for you that if you did what he did, that could possibly be your outcome. But see, they don't have discipline nowadays, so that's why everything is just wild west, out of pocket, and so unruly. Everything is really just undomesticated out here. Go out in the world, go date, go smoke, go drink, go party, go try new things. Hey, change your gender. What's your pronoun? What do you like? I mean, that's the world we live in. Just do as thou wilt. The law of Thelma. That's why America is the rebirth of Rome all over again. The law of Thelma in the Rome Treaty. Go look it up, but y'all ain't gonna do that. You gonna go home, watch TikToks. Watch. Go home, make your little TikTok. They might go to the gym, which ain't nothing wrong with. But let's be honest though, man. They don't understand the time they're living in, and even the kingdom they're living in right now. The qualm drop. Yeah. Psalms 37:28. This is a beautiful precept. For the Lord loveth judgment. Once again, the Lord loveth judgment, and forsaketh not his saints. Who are the saints? Give me Revelation 13:9. And forsaketh not his saints, they are preserved forever. That goes back to being predestined before the foundation of the earth. So the elect has always been sealed. The Lord is clairvoyancy. So if I could be clairvoyant, that means he gave me the vision to see what he already gonna do. Now that's humble, right? For us to see what he's gonna do. Anyhow, not his saints, they are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. He gonna do it at the root. Like how my grandma said, she don't say root. You're gonna get cut down at the root. All right. Read that Revelation real quick. 13:9 and 10.
This Revelation 13:9.
It's gonna go into the saints, because the Lord loves judgment, and he forsake not his saints. So even though the Lord was the one that put us into this captivity because of our disobedience, the Lord gonna be the same one that's gonna take us out of it. Because he said he preserved us. They go back to that little sanctuary. That's why he said, he shall not make a full end of Israel, of his people. Right? Because two parts they ain't going to get cut off and perish. But the third part shall what? Be brought through the fire. That's the difference. All right? Go ahead, Al.
It's Revelations 13:9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
Right.
He that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity.
So the Lord said, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
He said, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So the saints are the same ones that want judgment too. What you talking about reparations for? The world was created for your sake. You lost it because you're disobedient. So you're going to get it all back. But at the end of the day, it's called repentance. Okay, you acknowledge what you've done. But the first formality of repentance is being humble. And you talking about being humble today? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. How can you serve the Lord and be prideful? It don't make sense. Go ahead.
I go on the back of the 6 or 2. Psalms 85:8. I will hear, but our power Yahawah will speak, for he will speak peace unto his people, and
Israel.
to his saints.
And to his saints. Who is his people? Can you go ahead and give me Isaiah 44? I think 44 and 5, if I'm not mistaken. And you can give me on Isaiah 41:8.
Isaiah 44:5.
Right.
One shall say, I am the Lord.
Hey, brother, where you from, man? Where you people from? Where they got school? Guatemala? Oh, we brothers, man. All right, you Zebulonite. You're an Israelite. Remember that? All right, brother. I want you to lose. You got it, man. Yeah, Zebulon. Yeah, he's Zebulon right there, Guatemala. Yeah, he right down the sign. Try to catch him real quick. I wish I would have showed him. Right?
Yeah, spiritually, you
yeah, because I said, where you from? I said, go there to school. Like, where you from? And he said, Guatemala. I should have said, we are hermano. Mi hermano. Tú es mi hermano. Whatever, man.
Isaiah chapter 44:5. One shall say, I am the Lord, Yahawah, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob, and another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord.
So that lets you know that there's other people saying that they are Jacob. All right, go ahead.
And surname himself by the name of Israel.
And shall surname himself as the name of Israel. Go ahead,
41:8.
41:8.
Isaiah 41:8. But thou Israel are like my servant Jacob, whom I have chosen.
So Israel, my servant, Jacob, whom I have chosen. Okay.
The seed of Abraham, my friend.
Right. So the Lord chose Israel. He didn't choose all nations. The Lord chose Israel. Right. Go ahead.
Now whom I have taken from thy end of the earth, and called thee from thy chief men thereof, and said unto thee, thou art my servant. I have chosen thee and not cast thee away.
I have chosen thee and not cast thee away. That goes back to Psalms 37:28. For the Lord loveth judgment and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever. Can you get Psalms 50:5? They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off, and the wicked is who? Esau. Okay? Matter of fact, go to Malachi 1:3. The 1 and 2 has been a while. Put it at the top.
Psalms chapter 50:5. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice.
Those that made a covenant with me by sacrifice. Who does the sacrifice? The tribe of Levi, who will be one of the 12 tribes of Israel. I can give you Psalm 78:5. I just love that word, saints. People like to use the word saint. Or when the saints come marching in, or when the saints come marching. They don't even know what a saint is. They just say the word. Oh, Saint Peter. Oh, Saint John. You read the Gospel of John 13 and 14. You don't even know who the saints are. Stop it. Look at it.
Psalm 78:5. For he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel.
Right.
Which he commanded our fathers that they should make them known to their children.
Make them known to their children. Our Father. All right, so the testimony, the sacrifice, and all that goes back to Israel, who is the Lord's people. That's good. I forgot it's a lot of them. All right, but yeah, we just talking about the saints, man. That's if you're being rooted. It goes back to think about an earthquake. If you don't have a strong foundation, the structure's gonna fall. As everybody's getting shooken up mentally and like emotionally and spiritually, why are we getting shooken up? We've been talking about this for so long. We should be rejoicing forevermore. So this, we had to build this God-forsaken place, and now the Lord's going to come back with righteousness in this place, man. I'm not praying for this place. The Lord said, "Pray not for these people." Why would I do that? I would be casting my pearls to swine, and the Lord's going to destroy them. That's why He said, "Go to the highways and byways and by the food and preaching to save those that do believe." Because how much more heart do you really have for you to go out and profess what you really love? A man will stand in front of a crowd of people, get on one knee, and propose to a woman. And he won't stand on the corner and profess his love for God. Fuck out of here, man.
Scripture says to pray ye for fewer days.
For fewer days, man. Why would you want to prolong your sentence in jail? Think about it, right? Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm on good behavior. I'm on good behavior, Lord. Come and get me. I want to be saved on good behavior. I don't want to be destroyed, you know. But pride, man, it's really deceitful, you know. It's that carnality, man. You gotta starve the flesh. You gotta feed the spirit. The brother dropped Psalm 72:4. It says, "He shall judge the poor of the people. He shall save the children of the needy, and shall break in pieces the oppressor." The needy, right? Hey, because even 2/3 of our people, yo, man, they just need a mercy. They need a mercy kill, man. Because the Lord said, "Why must you be stricken anymore?" He said, "We have a wound that can't be healed." They ain't gonna never get right because they wasn't the ones preserved from the beginning, before the foundation of the earth.
No, I'm talking about that scripture.
Oh, that precept
lands right back to what we were gonna go here.
Oh, Isaiah. Go ahead.
You want to read that one?
You want me to read it again?
Yeah.
Psalm 72:4. Let me close out soon. "He shall judge the poor of the people. He shall save the children." My dog got ran over. "He shall save the children." He gonna run it up with the dog. "Of the needy, and shall break in pieces the oppressor."
He shall break in pieces the oppression
The oppressor.
of the oppressor. Psalm chapter 14, verse 21 through 24. Prepare slaughter for the children of the iniquities of their fathers, that they not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
Oh, I didn't do that. I didn't put you into slavery. I have 5 black friends and 2 Spanish friends. You know how they are. I didn't do, but you know what you're doing though? You're reaping the benefits of it.
Right.
You're reaping the benefits of slavery.
They like hanging out at their house.
Yeah.
They got it all.
Right. So it's like, imagine this. I own an apartment building. Every room is full of tenants. Somebody come into my apartment building, kick everyone out, and move their family in. That's exactly what the Europeans did when they came here. At least they gave them a closet to sleep in. They call those reservations, right? Come on, man.
Isaiah 14:22. "For I will rise up against them, says Yahawah of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, said Yahawah."
That's heavy because the scripture clearly said. So the scripture clearly said, man, it said, "Prepare slaughter for their children, that they do not rise and possess the city." Right? That's for their children. So that's for, like, when you think about it, they'll say, "Oh, I didn't do it." But yeah, reincarnation is in the Bible. Matter of fact, can you give me Lamentations 5? Lamentations 5, and I think it's 7. Lamentations 5, no, 3. Right.
Lamentations chapter 5, verse 3. "We are orphans and fatherless. Our mothers are as widows. We have drunken our water for money."
Is that 5 and 3? Oh, I'm sorry, 2. I apologize. Yeah, that's it, 2. Yeah, I'm sorry, 2.
Lamentations chapter 5, verse 2. "Our inheritance is turned to strangers."
So that goes back to 1948. The state of Israel. I'll read it again.
"Our inheritance is turned to strangers."
Because our inheritance is the land.
Our
remember what the Lord said? The Lord said, He said, I will give you the land of milk and honey that your fathers have inherited. That's Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So I will read it again. That's heavy.
Lamentations chapter 5, verse 2. Our inheritance is turned to strangers, our houses to aliens.
Right. Because we don't have no set land. We're nomadic. Like, okay, you have a house, you have a place, but you don't have a land to call your own. Right? You get what I'm saying? It's like saying I'm black or you're white. Where's a map that shows that geographical location? There isn't. You know what I mean? It's all proverbs and bywords and all of that. Shalom, shalom, lamacha. YAHAWASHI, Hashim Kakatash, Rakata. Seven, 5 and 7.
Lamentations chapter 5, verse 7. Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have.
You gotta speak louder, and y'all speak louder. You gotta speak fast. You let them hear.
Lamentations chapter 5, verse 7. Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquities.
So that tells you reincarnation right there. When the scripture study says, but it tells you in I think it's Jeremiah the 18th chapter or Ezekiel the 18th chapter, it says the son shall not bear the sins of the father. Of course. You can't, especially if your father's alive, you're living your own life. It's to the third and fourth generation when you come back. Right? Because you are your father reincarnated. I mean, you can just go online and look up famous people reincarnation. Man, they got Justin Timberlake up there. They got Eddie Griffin. They got the girl that played Everly on Hunger Games. Literally, pictures of people back in the 1800s, early 1900s look exactly like them. So that's like 3 or 4 generations prior. You can't make that up. You can't make that up. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to bring that out real quick because remember, you have brought out Isaiah 14:21. Prepare slaughter for their children for the sins of their forefathers. Because you are your forefathers reincarnated. That's why the Lord said Esau has the perpetual hatred towards us. It's been centuries and it's still the same hatred. Because it's something that's spiritual. It goes back to Esau and Jacob, because they were fighting in the womb. But once again, it's all about, New Testament. We're not under the Old Testament. No, the Lord said, I come in the volume of the book it is written. Anyway, I don't want to get too far from it. Elon Musk. Let's get into that. Right? So once again, going into the deception of the West, and then also going into the Ben Gurion Canal. That's why there's so much conflict in Gaza. America and the Western European countries want to create an alternate route from the Suez Canal so that they don't have to be dependent on Egypt, because a vast majority of America trade comes from Asia. Because like I said, America's an import country. America ain't exporting shit but military personnel. That's it. And orders. They're not producing anything like that. They're producing it and they sitting across sea. Maybe their vehicles, that's about it. Other than that, America's not a big exporter. All right. America's really dependent. It's really a dependent country. That's why they constantly oppress the other nations, the smaller nations, because they really need them. But because pride has deceived thee, and the love of money is the root of all evil, all you're doing, you're constantly shooting yourself in the foot.
This is from Business Insider, and it's titled, "Thousands of people are reportedly lining up to have a portion of their skull removed and one of Elon Musk's brain chip implanted."
So you want to get Revelation 13? Right. So once again, when Revelation was written, Peter, the apostle, this is history. You got to go into the history. Peter, the apostle, he was locked up in the salt mines in Patmos. You got to remember the apostles. Some of them died. John the Revelator, he was not John the Revelator. Paul, he was beheaded. Remember, Paul was beheaded. Stephen was stoned to death. So a lot of the apostles actually died. So Peter, he was on the island of Patmos when he got the revelations. So this is revelation that was given 2,000 years ago, and it's happening today. Like 2,000 years ago, they're talking about putting something in your right hand and in your forehead. They had no clue what that was writing down. Now 2,000 years later, it's coming to pass. You can't tell me this ain't real. All right, go ahead.
Earlier this year, it says earlier this year, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration gave Neuralink, which Elon Musk co-founded in 2016. Approval to launch human trials.
Approval to launch human trials from the FDA. All right? So this is going into medicine as well. The Federal Drug Administration. Because when you're dealing with surgery, it's in the medical field. So, like I said, so the FDA has approved for people to have a portion, a fragment of their skull removed so they can put a chip inside their brain. The brother said thousands are lining up to do that. So now that the FDA has approved it, people can actually have surgery to have the implant put inside their brain. How are they going to mask it? All right, which one though? Which one, brother?
All three.
Oh, I respect that. Okay, God, I like that. That's love. That's love. I like that. Yeah, that's Jake though. That's the salt of the earth. All right, I give him that. He could be an angel unaware. That's why I just had to test the spirit by the spirit. But nonetheless, though, hey, remember that picture you sent me? You sent in the group chat with the three of us? Yeah. And he just walked by and confirmed it. You know? But nonetheless, so what they're going to try and do, they're going to try and frame it of trying to get everybody, you know, implanted or inoculated. Let me use the correct term. For everyone to get inoculated, they have to use something called gradualism. So they're going to use somebody that's like a quadriplegic, right? They're going to have a documentary, probably an hour long. They have almost 60 minutes. You know, when I was 4 years old, I was very active, something, and a freak accident happened. I got infected. I had to have my limbs, you know, I couldn't use them. My neurotransmitters wasn't striking. I tried everything. Then come Elon Musk. This sob story and everything. They're going to use him as a test trial. You know, they're going to use him as a patient. And they're going to put the implant in his brain, and he's going to start moving his phalanges. He's going to start wiggling his toes. Then a lot of people are going to start lining up for that. Oh my God, put an implant in my brain, and I can start. So they're going to use it as a way to help people. Then they're going to use it as a way to track people. That's how they're doing it now. They've been doing it since the 90s. They've been putting these GPS sensors inside of your dogs. They've been doing it for years. But to put it inside people are like, wait a minute, you already tracked my phone. You already have my IP address to my internet. All right. You already got CCTV cameras everywhere. Now you want to put a device inside me to see where I'm going? Or you're going to mask it under a medical surgery or under, oh, you don't need your credit card. Just put your wrist there and sign in and sign out. And now they already got the option to freeze your account. So now they'll just burst the cyanide inside the sensor and you just die of cyanide. We don't know what happened. Right. We don't know what happened. Or they short circuit your brain and you just die. Like, come on, they do all kind of tests on torturing people. Think about
some Saw shit. You know?
Yeah, that's like Saw. It's like Saw, or like House of a Thousand Corpses, or The Devil Reject. Those kind of mentalities, like some crazy shit. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Play a game.
Yeah, Rob Zombie. I want to play a game.
You don't do what I say.
Oh yeah. He come out with a little word. He said, "I want to play a game."
That's wicked to come up with that kind of shit.
But it's not really because, you know what, I'm gonna tell you why I like the movie Saw. The reason why I like Saw, because they looked at him as a villain, but the villains are always the ones that's really the heroes when you think about it.
Because he was getting on them for not pursuing good deeds.
That's the point. So you look at Saul, he wasn't a bad guy. You was doing all this wickedness. So I put it before you to see, are you willing to choose life or death? I watched the movie 7 last night with Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt. He used the seven cardinal sins for people who were gluttons, people who were slothful, people who committed adultery, and the way he killed them was the same way they was actually submitting themselves to those deadly sins. So you live by the sword, you die by the sword. If you want to be a glutton and morbidly obese, you'll just die from cardiac arrest. So I don't see nothing wrong with the movie Saw. I just see what's wrong with the people not wanting to take accountability for their actions in life. That's the problem. Their conscience is eating them alive. You know you was doing wrong, but now that you're caught, you're sorry. You're not sorry. You're just sorry you got caught. That's it.
In September, the company began recruiting for its first human trial. Neuralink said in a blog post that it was looking for people who had paralyzed in 4 limbs.
What I said? Quadriplegic. What I said? And that's what I didn't even read that article. You posted an article in the group chat. I saw the title and I said, yo, you go into it. I told you they're gonna use quadriplegics, so people who are paralyzed, or who have a nervous system hindrance or something, they're gonna use those people, man, as the guinea pig, as the pets, as the what they call it, the poster child, right? Like the poster child for the CD19 vaccines died, little boy. What? Oh, you didn't see it on the post? Man, don't worry about it. Psalms 21:11. I'll tell you about it later. For they intended evil against thee. They imagine a mischievous device which they are not able to perform. The device is what? The medical device, which would be the chip. All right, the biochip, because it was in the, I forgot what, it was in House Bill, HR Bill, I think it's HR Bill 3200, page 1004. So they put it way down inside the bill on the 1004 page. He looked at it, all right, and it says having a medical device class 2 or class 3 medical device implanted inside a patient. You gotta think about it. Whenever they have all these House bills and these Senate bills and all of that, the president can veto it, or the president can actually push it through. So when you go into that HR Bill 3200, page 1004, right? You gotta sift through all that. It speaks about implanting people with a class 2 or a class 3 medical device. That's Revelation the 13th chapter. But I guess we're the crazy ones, right? You know what I mean? Go ahead.
It says, Neuralink said in a blog post that he was looking for people who had paralyzed in all 4 limbs, right, because of a spinal cord injury.
So that's how they're going to use it to implement it, to make it mandatory for everybody soon. Go ahead.
Watch this. It says the company says it hopes to eventually make a device that will create a sort of symbiosis. How you say that?
Oh, symbiosis.
Symbiosis. You know what's beautiful what he said? He said that if you get the chip in you, it's gonna track you, right? So watch this. There's this movie called Robot. There's this movie called Robot Overlords, and it's perfect because what's the definition of symbiosis? Watch this. It says symbiosis comes from the Greek, which means together, or with, which means life. Literally means live together. So yeah.
So a prime example of symbiosis, Venom. Venom. Yeah. When you look at the life source that took over Venom, he became one with it. That's the symbiosis. So the same thing with putting the biochip inside of you. They want to turn you into an android. Bingo. Yeah, they want to turn you into an android. So that's symbiosis. Same thing. So whenever you think about symbiosis, think about Venom, because he couldn't get that certain entity off of him. He became one with it.
And it's beautiful because we got a picture here with a chip that goes behind the ear. Charagma. That goes behind the ear. The charagma is designed to set behind the ear while electrodes are threaded into the brain.
Exactly.
And look at the similarities with the movie. Where do you see the charagma?
It's right behind his ear. Listen, Hollywood is their how should I put it? It's witchcraft. Hollywood is pretty much witchcraft, right? Because they use a lot of CGI, they use a lot of effects, a lot of motion pictures, right? Because like I always say this, they cut your phone off, cut your TV off. What do you see? You see a black screen. That black screen is synonymous with a crystal ball. All right? That's why they call it television. They're telling you lies through visions, and you believe it. That's why it's called television programming. They have to program you first, so that you become accustomed to it. So we're so accustomed to seeing people shot on movies and stabbed. And so we hear about heinous crimes, like, oh man, that's kind of crazy. But we don't really hold it to heart though. You know? So symbiosis, that goes back to being one, like being gathered. Okay? They want to make you one with their smart cities. The smart cities. They want you to be connected with those smart cities. So when they're coming out with all of this 4G and 5G, 5G is not to help you will have a stronger connection. The 5G is for them to have access to more electronic devices. It has nothing to help you with their mobile data. All right. If they want you to have faster data, they can help you do that. 5G has nothing to do with that. It's producing a higher frequency to have more devices being attached to their network. And that's why they said everywhere they were building all of these 5G towers, birds were just dropping out in the air and dying. Because America, not America. The Earth has its own frequency. It has its own force field. It has its own hertz. So when you add ions into the atmosphere, Because you have something called the ionosphere. You have the atmosphere, the stratosphere, the troposphere, the ionosphere, then like the orbit. When you start to add all those ions to the ionosphere, you start to change the natural ecosystem. That's why they can create hurricanes, earthquakes, things like that. It's called the HARP system. I hope they don't shut me down, but it's called the HARP system, man.
And you know something is wrong because I seen a video of a white bird, what is that, the seagulls. They were flying at the 5G towers trying to rip the wire.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that. So yeah, just imagine, even the animals know, right? So the brother said the bird. I remember that the bird was picking away at the 5G tower. So just imagine what it's doing to their brains, man. You know what I'm saying? Anyhow, hey, so read that and you gonna close out on that. Some more precepts in a minute.
It says the company also hopes to eventually make a device that will create some sort of symbiosis between humans and machines and will allow people to send messages or play games using their thoughts.
So you can use your thoughts to. So in other words, you're just sitting here. Imagine the movie Minority Report. You see Minority Report? Watch it. Minority Report with Tom Cruise. We had all the screens. He's moving all the screens up there. Rather than him using his hand, they want to make it to where you can use your thoughts to move everything on the screen. So where you can slide everything on the screen. So if you can use your thoughts to slide something on the screen, that means that they can also alter your thoughts. All right? Like think about the movie MIB. All right, the movie MIB with Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith. Remember, if somebody saw something that they weren't supposed to see, what they did? They said, "Excuse me, sir." They put their glasses on, they flashed them, and then they just erased their memory, and then they replaced it. So they could do the same thing if they put those inputs inside your brain. They can turn you to iRobots. But I refuse to be an iRobot. I'm Sunny. I want to be Sunny, man. I'm going against the grain, right? But now we're going into this whole artificial intelligent merging man and machine. It's a great movie called Transcendence with Johnny Depp. Hey, you should watch it because he was on the brink of dying. What they did, they used his conscious and then put his conscious into the computer. But then his conscious started thinking on his own, started doing his own things. I'm telling you, man, there's so many movies out there. Ex Machina, you should watch that. All these artificial movies, man, artificial intelligence. It's artificial intelligence is pretty much man-based, but it's like if you're gonna program it with rationality and logic, I don't need artificial intelligence to tell me that the world's gonna end soon, or Siri, or Alexa. You know that. That's why those same components are saying the same rhetoric, because those are thoughts in your mind that you already put into the artificial intelligence, man. You know, but that's them wanting to sit in the seat of God, wanting to be like God. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. You want to get Revelation?
It's Revelations 13 and 16. And he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or their foreheads.
Speak on it up.
All right? It's right here, man. He calls small and great, rich or poor, to receive a mark on their foreheads. Okay, which is the F-word.
Right. It's right here.
So,
see, like, listen, we had this sign for what? Almost like 10 years, something like that. 7 years. So when people see this, they laugh and scoff. But look, now it's coming to life. You know, now it's coming to life. So like, so we've been had that sign for what? 7-10 years. But now you got Neuralink coming about. Do we seem crazy now? You know.
Psalms chapter 37, verse 7. Rest in Yahawah and wait patiently for him.
So we're just suffering right now, waiting for the end to come. You know, that's why the Lord said, He said, come in and shut the door until the indignation pass. He said, wait a little while till the indignation pass. So that lets you know, man, that there's only gonna be a few that's gonna be saved. He said, come in and then let it pass over. That's why the scripture says, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, but the evil shall not come near thee. Or the pestilence, the pestilence that day, right? The Lord speaks about that. Because I don't care how strong you are, how fast you are, you can't defeat pestilence, viruses, free radicals, pathogens, bacteria. You can't defeat that. That's why it's a very humbling thing that when you do get sick, you realize, man, how vital health is. Because you take advantage of it, because our bodies are constantly trying to save us from ourselves. That's why if you smoke cigarettes and you cough for a reason. It's your body telling you that it should not be in my lungs. Only thing that should be in my lungs is air. That's why we know when you drink something too fast, oh, went down the wrong pipe. That's what they'll say. Because your body telling you it's rejecting what's in your lungs. So if you're smoking cigarettes for 15, 20 years, you end up getting lung cancer. Dun, 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 no shit, Sherlock. That's why your body's been coughing for the past 10, 15 years. Because it's telling you you need to stop doing it. You know what I'm saying? But that's just the mind of the people. You know, that's just how some people's minds are. You know? Go ahead, Al.
Psalms chapter 37, verse 7. Rest in Yahawah and wait patiently for him.
Wait patiently.
Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way.
Can you please give me Galatians 5:5? Fret not him that prosper in his way. You got to remember though, like the elders say, we had to go. You had to go through wickedness in order for you to appreciate righteousness. So in other words, I respect the man that went and made $10 million compared to the man that inherited $10 million. Because the man that went and made it, he knew what it took to grind. He appreciated that. The time, the effort, the blood, the sweat, the discipline, the dedication, the relentlessness to continue to persevere to get the 10 million compared to somebody who sat on their ass and inherited it. He ain't gonna appreciate that because he didn't have to work and earn it. So we can understand the prosperity of what's going on right now because the earth was given to the hands of the wicked. So we don't fret that you thriving. You're supposed to. Who am I to tell you in your kingdom you ain't supposed to be happy? You're supposed to be happy. You get what I'm saying? It's your party. Do what you want. But then when your party get crashed, you can't say that we didn't warn you. That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got this morning, right? Yeah, it's morning.
It says, fret not because of him who prospereth in his way.
Right.
Because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass.
Right. For the man that bringeth wicked devices to pass. That also goes back to is it in Joel where it speaks about his enterprise. He shall not complete his. I think it's Joel 15, and I'm mistaken, right? You gotta read that real quick before you read that up. Right. Right, because at the end of the day, I don't know why she hold on the camera right now. I'm a goofy. Anyhow, yeah, like you said, at the end of the day, man. Boom. You got it? Oh, okay, go ahead. Hey, Speedy Guns on.
Job chapter 5, verse 12. He disappointed the device of the crafty.
He did disappoint the device of the crafty. Remember what it said? Thy enemies created a crafty counsel. Remember? Can you give me Psalm 83? We're gonna close out.
Psalms 83.
83, yeah. I just thought about something. You mentioned crafty. So I thought about something. You just keep digging, ain't you? I think it said that. Yeah, boom. Psalms 83, and we can start at 1, we'll end at 3, but I want to finish this up.
Job chapter 5, verse 12. He disappointed the device of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
So the inward thought that their generation shall go on forever. But like the scriptures say, man, the Lord's kingdom is going to be established here on earth, and it's going to rule forever. So the America, and just enjoy yourself. Like I said, it's your party. I ain't gonna tell you how to party, but it's gonna get crashed. That's all I'm gonna say. So party like a rock star. You get white boy wasted. Do whatever you want. That's fine. That's cool. But in the kingdom, ain't none of that happening. None of that is happening. You done with that one? Yeah. So like the brother said, they took crafty, the crafty ones, right? Go ahead and read your own Psalms.
Psalms 83 and 1. A song or a song of what?
A psalm or song ASAP.
Of Asaph. Keep not silence, O God. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O God.
But the Lord said he speaks by the mouth of the prophet, so he's not quiet. And when he said, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet. Show my people Israel their transgression. At the end of the day, if you see us, if you hear us, you're sealed. That's all that means. You're either sealed for destruction. Well, no, this is what I say. You either sealed for salvation or condemnation. So if you saw us, if you heard us, if you embraced us, if you're an Israelite and you haven't repented, we're just out here to give the message that America's going to be destroyed via thermonuclear warhead. But prior to that, They're gonna try and force everyone to get the charagma inside their right hand and their forehead. The dollar's already collapsing. We just waiting for the economy to collapse. Because I saw the elder do a video where you got people in Atlanta, Georgia living in storage units. I've seen videos of women living in vans, sleeping in Walmart parking lots, and they're like, "Hi, this is me and my son. We sleep in our van. We're getting up. We're gonna go inside. We're gonna go in Walmart. We're gonna brush our teeth." They're having these videos on YouTube of women with their like 4 or 5-year-old son or daughter sleeping in vans. That's dangerous. Now you know how I am, bro. I can care less about these like arrogant women and these harlots. I don't care about them. It's the soft feminine women who's gonna really get it too. You know, the women who really are like women. Like those are women, you know, or like the women that believe in how about Shah. I pray for them. But the other women out there, ratchets and all that, no, I'm not concerned. But you have women sleeping in vans with their children, you know? And like this reminds me of the scripture Capernaum. They just too comfortable here, man. It's like you really like living in a van by yourself with your child. That's not safe. It's in no way ever is that safe. But they just go to show you the decline of America. That you got people sleeping in storage units, man, and in cars. It's crazy, you know. But it's the land of the free, the home of the brave. I really call it the land of the sleep and the home of the slaves. But because they got the mental chains on them and they so doped up off this American Babylon juice, they don't know what's going on. The fluoride has calcified their pineal glands. All they think about is smoking, video game. Hey, bro, what's your KD on Call of Duty? Yeah, that's it. That's all. American been reduced down. You know what I mean? KD or kill death ratio. Like if you playing, you got 10 kills and 5 deaths. So that mean like you kill two people per time you die. Shit like that. Like yeah, man, I got more kills and I die. Like stupid shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's the world we're living to. That's what we're living in. The party, man. Right? I think that helps y'all.
Psalms 83 and 2. For Lord our enemy make
a tumult. Yeah, a tumult is like a ruckus, a fuss, right?
And they that hate thee have lifted up thy head.
And they that hate thee lift up thy head. What does it mean to lift up thy head? To have their head high means that you're proud, right? It's like riding on a high horse, right? So that's pride. Go ahead, up.
Thou have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They've taken crafty counsel against thy people. Go ahead.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And they consulted against thy hidden ones. And when you go to Job 9:24, it said they cover the face of the judges thereof, right? That goes back to what? The hidden ones, which would be the prophets and the apostles. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Isaiah, Jeremiah. If you go back to a Russian Orthodox church, back to the 14th, 13th century, all the depictions in there are dark-skinned men. It's so many depictions, they can't even get rid of it now. To the point there's a book called Modern Day Russians and Britons, and it shows you the people that was ruling during the 14th, 13th, 11th, 12th, 10th, 9th century was dark-skinned people called Moors. In the history books, they call them Moors. But those were Israelites. They were us ruling in Europe. That's why in school today, they always say, during the Middle Ages, it was the Dark Ages. It was a time void of knowledge. No, it wasn't. That was the times you got pushed up into the caves, going back to Job the 30th chapter. That's why when you came out of the caves in the Caucasus Mountains, you said the purest person come from what? The Caucasus Mountains, i.e. you call yourself Caucasians. And then you made it seem like all men evolved from cavemen because you came from them. No, that's not how it happened. We all came from the garden, right? It was full of vegetation. But it just goes to show you the rebirth of Satan that was bound for 1,000 years, i.e. Renaissance means rebirth. You just can't make this stuff up, man. It's all out there, you know, but it's a puzzle piece you got to put together that only RAWACHAA QADASH and spiritual ability. You found it? The one about his device. Oh, here we go. You ready? Oh, yeah, read it one more time. Salaki. No, you ain't it. Oh, yeah. Finish up the third one, and then finish the third one, then go to Galatians 5:5.
The Psalms 83 and 4. God have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Right.
That the name of Israel shall be no more in remembrance.
You see right here. He said, let us cut them off from being a nation. Right? The Proverbs and the bywords, man. So we're Negro, West Indians, Haitians, Dominicans, Guatemalans, the Panamanians, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, North American Indians, similar Indians, the Argentinians, the Chileans, Colombians, Uruguayans, Mexicans. Those were names given to us after 1492. Prior to who we were, we knew that we were Israel. Prime example, the Native Americans spoke a broken Hebrew. Whenever they used to chant, what they used to say, hi ya ya ya, hi ya ya. They just missing one syllable. Wah, Yahawah. They just didn't have the Y at the end. All they had was Yahah. You know, and then when you go into the Los Lunas, the Decalogue stone down in Mexico, that was 2,000 years prior to Christopher Columbus. It had the Ten Commandments written in Paleo Hebrew. So you got to ask yourself, who the hell was here before Christopher Columbus, right? Because you think about it, the Aztecs and the Incas, the Mayans go back to 722 BC. Then you got the Battle Creek with the Hebrew inscriptions on it on a very small stone. You can't make that up. What about the poncho that the so-called Mexicans wear that have the fringes at the bottom?
Puerto Rico, there's an ancient statue of a warrior, and he has straps on his arms and on his ankles, and they got fringes on it.
Yeah, that's a part of our custom, man. With those people, you know. Anyway, but let's go back to the crafty. They have covered up the hidden ones. It said, make the name of Israel be among remembrance. You notice they always say that they're the Jays, right? They always say that they're from Levi but they'll never say that they are the Israelites. They will say they're Israelis. And if I move, Amari Stoudemire, the ex-basketball player, whatever. If I move to Israel, I will be considered an Israeli because I'll be a citizen, right? But by default, I'm already an Israelite because of my lineage, you know, because we fit the curses, right? So when you think about the word Israeli, it's an inhabitant of Israel. An Israelite is a descendant from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. There's a big difference, you know. Oh Lord, that dude dog jumped in the bushes. No, but go ahead.
Job chapter 5, verse 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
So that they cannot perform their enterprise, man. And that's what? The New World Order. That's the enterprise, you know? Hey man, I want to say it for another 30 minutes, man, but I can see the time going. We ain't got enough time. Go ahead, I'll take that.
Verse 13. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the flower is carried headlong.
That's crazy because what the Lord said, he said the deceived and the deceiver are his. So it's like if somebody just can't get it, the Lord blinded them. Just let them have it.
You think he's gonna chip everybody?
Yeah, no, he's not. Not the whole earth. Yep. But that goes back to this right here. We're gonna close out. Remember, the world's getting shooken up, that financial system getting shooken up, the government getting shooken up, people's faith getting shooken up, spiritually, mentally, and physically. Yo, this is what we always been preaching about for years, y'all. We should not be getting shooken up. But the kingdom's on its way. They don't believe in the kingdom, so let them stay shooken up. We need to prepare. Thank you. We need to stay grounded, stay fasted, man. So I'm gonna close out with this, and we're gonna leave. You got something?
Yeah, I got. Oh, go ahead. It goes in how the Lord said, don't worry about your life. What are you gonna eat? What are you gonna drink?
That's Matthew the 6th chapter.
For the heathens care about these things.
Go ahead. Yeah, that's what the Lord said. Make no thought of what you shall eat or what you shall drink. So He said, seek the kingdom of heaven first, and all those things shall be added unto you. Right. Stuff vain is coming in. Matthew 6. That's a good precept. Because people, you're gonna need food. We're in these weak bodies, so we don't think about that because we've seen what the Lord did for Daniel. We've seen what the Lord did for the 5,000 people that wanted fish and bread. We've seen what the Lord did with Elijah when the angel woke him up and he gave him food. We've seen what the Lord did for his servants.
So this is YAHAWASHI is telling us this is good to have in mind.
Right.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 31 and 32. Therefore take no thought, saying, what shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or whether shall we be clothed? For after all these things do the Gentiles seek. For your heavenly Father knoweth that ye need of all these things.
So the heavenly Father knows we need it for all these things, man. So don't take no thought. Don't take no thought of it. Forgive me. Don't take no thought of it because the Lord knows that you need food, you need water, you need raiment, you need medicine. The Lord knows all those things. The Lord said, I got you if you just do what I ask you to do. That's it. Do what I ask you to do, and I got you. And that's where we stand at. That's why the Lord said, lay not up your treasures here on earth. These cars, these houses gonna get broken in. All this stuff ain't gonna need nothing. Like I always say, think about the movie I Am Legend. With Will Smith was winning that looking for Sam. All that money was on the ground. That money didn't mean anything during that time. That money meant nothing in the movie I Am Legend. All that money on the ground. So the Lord know what we need. It ain't money. We gonna need food, water, and raiment. The Lord gonna make sure we get that. You know. But Proverbs chapter 12, verse 2 and 3. We'll close out. A good man obtaineth favor of the Lord, but a man of wicked devices will he condemn. A man shall not be established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous shall not be moved. So the Lord said we're not going to be moved. So with that being said, we're going to give all honor, glory, and praises unto Yahawah, by Hashem, Yahawashi, by Hashem, QADASH, the Most High elders at Great Millstone who rule well, sing honors to the elect, peace and blessings to all the sisters, men and women, the children that do consist of the 1/3, and to the confusion of faces in the four corners of the earth. From Yasharahla, Shalom.